everyone and welcome back. Today we're doing a no makeup routine, and I don't always wear makeup every day, so I thought it would be nice to share my makeup routine for when I don't want to wear much makeup but I do want to sort of enhance on what I've already got. This is just a really nice low maintenance makeup routine for those no makeup days. So I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe. And if you want to see how we got this look, then keep watching. So today's makeup tutorial is going to be super chilled. I've even got a nice massive mug of tea I'm just finishing off at the moment. It's actually gone quite cold even though it is the 1st of August, so this is keeping me nice and warm. I wanted to share the no makeup routine for quite a while because it is a look that I do wear quite often. I don't always like to wear makeup every single day, but I do sometimes need to improve on this if I am going out somewhere. I thought this would be really nice as well if you don't like to wear a lot of makeup to work, or maybe for school as well. I know you're not really supposed to wear makeup for school. So this is going to be the makeup routine which I use for my no makeup look. So I'm going to start with skincare because I haven't actually applied any skincare today, even though it is 1 PM already. I'm first going to go in with my eye cream. This is the Clarins Special Eye Contour Balm. This is the one for dry skin as well. I absolutely love it. I've recently done my skincare routine video, so I will leave that down in the description bar below if you want to see all the different skincare that I use. Then I'm going in with this serum. This is the L'Oreal Skin Perfection, and sometimes I do end up skipping this out, but my skin is super dry at the moment and really want to go for nice fresh and glowing skin today, and I really like the way that this makes your skin nice and glowy. And then I like press it in because the more I rub my skin, the redder it ends up going. And then I like to let that sit there for a minute, and then I'll apply my moisturiser over the top. This is the matching moisturiser to it, the L'Oreal Skin Perfection. And again with this, I just slowly spread it around and then I'll push it to my skin. And I'm also just putting a little bit of Vaseline on my lips as well, just to soak in while we do my makeup. So my skincare is done and I want to really increase the luminosity of my skin, especially for a no makeup look. So I would either use one of these two. This one is the Tiny Bit Face Illuminator, which I do use a lot, and the other one is the MAC Strobe Cream. I'm going to use the MAC Strobe Cream today only because my skin is super dry. If it wasn't as dry as it is today, then I would definitely use the Face Illuminator from Tiny Bit Cosmetics. But the Strobe Cream I feel does give that extra hydration as well. And I'm going to use my finger to apply it in the areas where I would want to highlight. Every time I touch my face, it always goes so red. And that just gives an extra boost of hydration at the same time as making your skin look really nice and glowy. The next thing that I'm going to do is colour correct under my eyes to reduce my dark circles a little bit. I'm going to use this palette from Rimmel, which I always use to colour correct my under eyes. This is the Conceal and Correct palette, and it's got 3 correctors in, and I'm just going to use some of the peachy shade right there. I find that using your finger to do a makeup look like this is a lot easier because all the products just melt so much easier into the skin, and that just really helps brighten that inner corner but without looking like I've actually got any product on. Instead of using a foundation, because technically we don't want to look like we've got any makeup on at all, I'm going to use more of a tinted moisturiser. So this is the Bareminerals Complexion Rescue, and I'm sure that I've used this a few times in my tutorials as well. This is a tinted hydrating gel cream, so it's very sheer. It's just going to even out all my skin tone and make me look nice and glowing. Plus I'm hoping it does cancel out a few of my red patches as well. So I've just applied a little bit onto my hand. I'm going to first apply this with my finger because I don't want to have too much of this on. And again, I'm going to blend this with my fingers as well first. This is one of my favourite products to use, especially over the summer. It has a nice SPF in, I think. Yeah, SPF of 30 as well, which is also very good. But it just leaves the most beautiful finish. Like, you can still see my skin, but it looks a lot more even than it did before. And I just want to help that blend out a little bit more, so I'm going to use this buffing brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just really lightly going to push it into my skin. That's just left the most stunning finish. It doesn't look like I've got any foundation on, but my skin tone is definitely evened out. It just looks so nice and healthy. Only going to use the tiniest amount of concealer just around my eyes because they are still looking a little bit dark, especially on the top. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, but instead of applying it straight onto my skin, I'm going to first put some on the back of my hand. And then so I apply it really sheer, I'm going to use this little brush from Morphe. This is a E23 brush. I've got hair on me. Get off. This is going to help me not apply too much product, because we don't want it to look like we are wearing any makeup. I'm just going to go under my eyes just to cancel out any extra darkness that is there. I'm also going to take a little bit as well over my eyelids just to cancel out that discoloration, because I do have quite veiny eyelids, to be honest. So I'm just going to do a tiny little bit just in between my brows right there, because that was looking still a little bit red. And then the last place I like to go in is just around my nose. That is all for the base products really for foundation and concealer. I don't think you can even tell really that I have got anything on. My skin looks super natural, but my under eyes look a lot brighter. My skin tone looks really nice and even, super glowing and natural, which is exactly what we want. And this is super comfortable as well, so it doesn't feel like I've got anything on either. I'm going to apply a tiny bit more highlighter, so I'm going to go in with the Revlon Instafix Highlighting Stick. A little bit of this to the tops of my cheekbones. So I'll dab that on first and then just blend it in with my finger again. And this again looks super natural, like you've got that super natural dewy skin. And then a little bit on my Cupid's bow, down my nose. And then to my cheeks I'm going to apply a tiny bit of blush, because I do think I need a little bit of colour, whether it's a bit of bronzer or blush. I'm going to use a blush today, and this is the Illamasqua blusher in the shade Love It. It's just a really nice peachy tone, and I'm going to actually use this contour brush from Real Techniques because it's just really small and I only need a tiny bit. So I'm going to just take a little bit on this and just apply it to my cheeks. And then I'm also gonna just dab a little bit over the bridge of my nose. But that's it for the skin for now. I'm gonna move it straight onto the brows. And for the brows, I do still like them quite nice and bold, but I don't fill them in as much as I would do if I was doing like a full face of makeup. So I'm going to use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which I always use at the moment. When you first get this pencil, it does actually feel quite dry, but once you've used it a couple of times, it does actually go quite creamy, which I really like. So I'll just brush all my hairs upwards, and then I'll just do a little line underneath. And then I'll just use little brush strokes to mimic the hairs and just flick them upwards just to fill in. It's mainly the bottom area, to be honest, which needs filling in. I don't go above my brow or anything like that because they are quite full at the top. But because I'm trying to grow them out, it's this bottom bit which becomes quite sparse. And then in the middle, I just use a lighter hand and flick upwards, which is the way that the hairs naturally grow. And then I'll just keep brushing them through until I've sort of got the thickness that I want. And then for the inner part, if I've maybe just overdrawn a little bit, I'll just dab that product away so you've got that nice gradient from light to dark. And then once I've done my brows, I'll go over them with a brow gel, a tinted one. So today I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. This is the tinted brow gel in Brunette. I do also like to use the Maybelline Brow Drama as well. And I like to brush all of my hairs up because I do like them to be quite nice and fluffy. I don't wear any eye makeup at all for this look, but I do like to curl my lashes because I do feel like curling your lashes makes a huge difference to your eyes. It really opens them up. And at first I like to just brush them through first, just so they're all nicely separated. And then I will go in and give them a good curl. And I think that just makes such a massive difference. Moving on to lips, I won't usually wear a lipstick because I find that that looks a little bit more obvious, so I'll usually just wear a lip liner on its own and fill in my lips with that. And the one that I tend to use is the KoKo lip pencil from Kylie Cosmetics, and I know not everyone can get their hands on these, but it's basically just a pinky nude pencil. So this is what I use for my lips. And then I like to go over the top and just pat that in. To completely finish this look, I'm going to go in with a tiny bit more highlight. I am a highlight junkie, I can't help it. I'm going to use MAC Soft and Gentle because this is my all-time favourite everyday highlight. It's not too golden and it's not too silvery either. Taking a little bit on the brush that we used to apply the blusher earlier, and just apply a little bit of this to where we applied that cream highlight earlier. And it's just absolutely stunning. I'm going to take a tiny bit on my finger as well and just place it in the inner corners of my eyes. And I'm going to just hit under my brow bone as well. And then very finally, I like to go over the top with the MAC Fix Plus just to set everything in place because I haven't used any powders, and this will just make sure everything is sort of melted in together and it'll leave a really nice dewy finish. So that, guys, is my no makeup routine. I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up as well and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!